is all.
So, before we get into it, I wanted to show you guys this. The jealousy of the trolls goes really deep. They even tried to, they did, disfigure me off of the panel of ufologists. But now, here's the secret. My French trolls, guys, that have been trolling me, those didn't know I was invited, yes. The video didn't get the time to go through with a bunch of other people, but UFO, UAP, international, academic, and civilian ufological communities' response to the United States government, Pentagon, and all the good stuff. The French trolls have been trolling me about a person up on top. His name is Jean-Pierre Petit. I love the guy, and they're laughing at me because they're saying that he's, the one that everyone's following, and because I'm on a platform with him, now the trolls are really getting scared. Just to let you guys know that one. A platform's a platform, right? Stephen Greer never showed up on those platforms. Why? Well, because he went another direction, right? He went directly, it's the news that got him, and his website and whatever, his advertising, So, obviously, I'm not going to reach everyone in the world, obviously, and I'm not trying to, but you know what? A couple of 100,000 of people are going to see the truth. This video should be all around the world in the news, just the finding. It's absolutely exceptional. It's clearly shown while we're looking at the sun. We're going to look at some plasma a little bit, but then we're going to the moon uniquely to see the fires that look like wars and the objects with smokes behind them in large groups, different types of UFOs on the moon. This is the most revealing video anyone will ever see to the public that shows one proof on the moon, a small part of the secret, and it's that there's someone up there. That's aside from it being inhabited. So plasma leaving the surface of the moon, I was happy to be able to catch that. So that is real, straight up. And this is with the camera, guys. So just to let you know, it's not every day you get plasma balls leaving the sun. You can clearly see it's not small either. So some of that's ejecting and coming towards Earth, right towards our satellites. I'm excited to get into the surface of the moon. That's what we're going to do right now with just one little last close-up. I love being able to see it so close. It's a little moment in time that I was able to capture. Thank God for cameras, right? Now, here's where it gets serious. I've been talking about this. I'm going to be pushing this month. This is UFO month. This is Push What's on the Moon month. We're going to look at something very serious. It's flipped around upside down. What is that? It's an object on the surface. We can see it very clearly. There's a smoke coming from behind it. We're going to see other objects going by simultaneously in formation and other objects of the same shape and forms by descending the exposure down, showing us proof and that there's smoke behind some of these objects. Some of them are even closer to the surface. They look smaller and further down as we are glimpsing through the haze. It's a very clear view. Say to yourself, I'm pressed up against the surface in a white patchy area, bring the exposure down, and that is what we can see. So there are several reasons, right, and theories as for the reasons why we're seeing smoke behind these objects. Because they're fighting together, maybe because they're hiding the surface by spraying the surface, or just vehicles that are driving around using different types of fuels. It's odd. They're spraying something in the air around the moon. It could be to hide the surface and, all the structures that are there on the moon. So, and why are there certain areas on the moon that we cannot see? Do you see what we're looking at? What do you think of that? The object's moving, and you see the smoke coming right out of the back of it. A very wide trail of smoke, too, by the way. This is seen from Earth. If an airplane does a chemtrail, are we going to see it on the moon? From Earth? No. So how wide is that smoke, and how wide is that object that's spraying right now over the surface of the moon? And this wasn't with a camera, obviously, seen with a telescope. And some people want me to capture it more than once. So let's look at all the times and different times that I capture these objects. There's smokes and hazes. That's Eratosthenes crater right at the end of the Apennine Mountains. Look how close we can see the surface. You know, it's pretty good. We can get a good view to be able to see movement. That's the interesting thing. It's like being at the beginning of having a camera. The first image that was black and white and really blurry. Everyone was flipping out and so excited. Well, that's where we're at for seeing the people on the moon. There they are. And now we're looking at more than one object. And of course, this isn't the other, the same incident that I showed you just a bit before this one. There's several of them. And look at what side the smoke's on the left, because it's going towards the right. We can see details, visual proof and evidence that we're looking at something legitimate. One going downwards on the top and the smoke's upwards. So it has a propulsion using a fuel of some type. It's in the atmosphere of the moon. So how many thousands of feet up off the surface? I don't know. But it's really close to the surface. Like, you can't see this. You have to absolutely magnify the hell out of it to be able to see it. So you guys might see pixelation. I don't have any in the video, that's for sure. Like I said, I'm showing this clear and straight up proof. There's the smoke and haze right there before it even appears on the left. It's incredible. Whoop, now it's black. And what's that triangle on the bottom? Or three lights in triangular formation. All three of them are following each other, and they're going right by where the smoke is. They're hiding the surface because they're working on the surface. There's a lot of things going on the surface. I would say this is the biggest secret in the entire world, for sure. Yeah, everyone, all the hype about Mars and why. The moon is probably holding the biggest secret. Do we see all this in the atmosphere around Mars? Probably so. Probably so. Here, the filtering, you'll see the evidence is incredible. Like, there's no two ways about it. This video does show a propulsion behind an object or several objects. Look at there's a white lines going by. You see, I'm adjusting the exposure, and it's not bad at all. We could see the movement of those objects. Are they all over the moon? Maybe. Do I see them always all over the moon like that? No, not necessarily. Little areas. You go beside Copernicus crater, and you zoom in really close, and you stay there. You film for hours. You bring the exposure down, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you see a moment where, like right here, all these objects appeared suddenly, and there was a lot of movement right in front of my camera. We're going to change the filtering here, and you watch how we're going to see it. It's absolutely incredible. Seeing the object move. There's a smoke behind it. Something's going on. Look, the smoke's rising on top of it. Incredible. It's up over top of the moon, making smokes and hazes, maybe to hide what's under the surface. Here, the filtering this way is the way I like to see it. This is pretty trippy. So we see the object. No, we don't see the other. Yeah, we do see the other circle on the bottom. There was something in it, but when the exposure was a lot higher, but now we can't see it. So you see, by adjusting the exposure, you play the same footage and you see different things. If the exposure is higher, you'll see more of the surface and maybe a bit lower. But right now I'm focused on that fiery or smoky object. Look at the smoke rising. It's right in front of me with my telescope, the proof that you can see there's an object and there's smoke there. Everyone goes, well, there can't be fire. They can't, there's no oxygen. There's no atmosphere. I beg to differ with the visual proof that I'm capturing. There they are taking off on the surface. I mean, it's a serious thing. And on top of this, showing even structures, well, don't ask why people are not coming to the channel. And I got 1,000 views, guys, in 48 hours. I mean, that's never been. So I'm obviously asking for you to view the channel as often as you can if you're interested in it. And look on Social Blade. I mean, look me up. Bruce Sees All. Get informed of how much money I'm making doing this online. I mean, they're holding me back on every angle. And all I want to do is just get views on the videos so people can see this truth. One of my favorites. We're inside of Mare Serenitatis. There's a rectangle there where the Apollo 17 supposed landing was, whether they went or not. Look what we're looking at. There's a towering object inside that rectangle, right there, inside of the rectangle. Two billowing lights inside. I mean, these are like industrial setups hiding right on the surface in front of us. Look at the exposure taken down. The incredible way, and we're going to take our time here to see that rectangle there. I mean, seriously, this is like 50 kilometers, or maybe I'm way off, maybe 100 kilometers, but you know, it's just over the edge where they declared having landed. We saw three lines. If you back up and look at the color part of this, the one I just showed, there's three lines going to the landing site. So what the hell's going on? See how the exposure shows us a whole lot on the surface? And look around. This is Mare Serenitatis. You see, look on the right, Mare Serenitatis. The filtering is just perfect, guys. No manipulation, no fancy programs, So this is old school, and it shows us an incredible surface, straight up, no manipulation. Programs are exceptional, everybody says. Yes, I agree, and one day I will try them. But I experiment with the basics because I'm trying to show truth without a program. Programs also manipulate the image, by the way. So ask anyone what this square crater is. Look at the roads going around it. Okay? After there was a hole made, no matter how it was made, somebody started building a road around it. So there's definitely someone up there. Real quickly, this is the sun today. It was really windy. I'll get back outside later and get a better shot. They up there sitting down in that pontoon. They from everybody up in their belly party. They coming here so soon. Yeah, aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.